Hi, welcome. Hello, everyone, wherever you are in the world. Karen Bartle here with my special guest, Clare Elizabeth Dea today.
Hello, everybody. Hey, Facebook world.
Stunning. So, if you've not watched this show before, this is called STEMGo. It's saving time, energy, and money in your small business. And this is about featuring talented, interesting, terrific guests who do great things in their business. I think I've just lost Claire on this one. She'll refresh and she'll come back in. So yes, STEMGo is about saving time, energy, and money in your business. It's about being productive, being efficient, being effective in your business so that you ultimately make more money and you ultimately are more productive in what you do. So we have guests from all over the world. We have people who are in lots of different kinds of industries. And today, I know she's back in the green room, so I'm definitely going to introduce her again. This is great live show for you. Things happen. It makes it all that more interesting.
Yeah.
But yes, so Clare Elizabeth Dea, she's a performance artist, and she basically helps people to particularly entrepreneurs, that's their interest, to help entrepreneurs unlock that creative genius, I guess. But I'm going to say no more because I'm going to bring Claire in and I'm going to let her introduce herself this morning. She's going to share some great things with you. So come on back in, Claire. How are you?
Hey, thank you. This is my first time FBLive and
Awesome.
disconnection straight away, but connecting back in, which I think is a really great segue into introducing what I do, because I actually help people that feel disconnected from their authentic voice and from their body actually get connected and present and actually share their message with the world. So that's was awesome. A demonstration of what I do.
And it wasn't planned at all. I promise you, audience, that was not planned.
Well, that's the other thing is that for your audience, I come from being an acting mentor. I had a business, an acting school for 6 years, Meisner, Melbourne, and it was all about teaching the craft of truthful behavior, moment to moment, being authentic and living in the unknown. And that's the thing as an entrepreneur, you have to be able to live in the unknown, especially in the world of technology. Anything can happen. So you have to just stay really present in your body and navigate what actually happens moment to moment.
Yeah, and that strikes the fear in some people, doesn't it? The idea of even being live, but also things going wrong and having to think on your feet very, very quickly about how you turn that around and recover, having the powers of recovery to be able to just get on with it, right? And that's what actors have to do all the time, right? Performance artists.
That really leads into what I was wanting to share today, which is actually the 3 keys to presence. And I find that the 3 keys of presence have really helped me and my clients not actually just get more present in life in their business, but more efficient with their time and with their energy and create more cash flow in their business. Great. And I'm sure your audience are extremely interested in all of those. So I would love to share with you the 3 keys to presence.
Yeah, go for it.
The first key is inner awareness. So just before we pressed live or before we connected on the computer, I took time to actually notice what was actually happening in my inner world, in my inner landscape. So I took time to really feel my feet on the ground and really inviting the earth to meet my feet. And I really engaged with how I was feeling truthfully in the moment in my body. And to be honest, I was feeling really vulnerable and scared in my stomach because this is the first time I've done a FBLive. I've done many Facebook Lives, but this is the first time I've used this platform. This is the first time that I've been interviewed by you, Karen. And so I had to get really truthful with myself. How am I feeling right now? Well, actually, I'm feeling a little scared. I'm feeling a little vulnerable. And so what we need to do is actually get truthful with how we feel and actually navigate what's happening within our bodies. So I can feel that I have some tension in my jaw, but I also can feel some aliveness in my pelvis and some excitement through my legs. And I can feel my heart opening because we're connecting here. So moment to moment, whether I'm doing a Facebook Live, whether I'm doing a presentation, whether I'm pitching a product, whether I'm on a first date, anything high stakes, I make sure that moment to moment, I'm navigating how am I truthfully feeling, and really notice any tensions, sensations, and take time to really breathe into those parts of my body and just open into them and relax and surrender and actually notice, where can I actually feel good in my body right now? And if all of my body is feeling tense, well, can I actually just have a pleasurable breath? And how can I just feel better in my body? Just a tiny bit better. I think that a lot of people try and change state in a really dramatic way. And yes, we can do through the breakthrough process. We can, change our state, but just moment to moment in life, just breathing and just noticing what's actually truthfully happening. So for me, whenever I start my day, whether I'm going to go in and take a workshop or speak on stage or do a video, do a performance, whatever, I first do the first key of presence, which is inner awareness.
That's
so
awesome.
I hope that can help you and your audience.
That's awesome. And I like the idea that you take that time at the present time, like just about before you're about to do something. It's to connect with yourself and say, look, I'm being honest with yourself, isn't it? It's not trying to kind of deflect or avoid the feelings. It's saying, look, this is how I feel. How can I connect with that and embrace it in a sense and do something with it to reframe it or to change it or to whatever it is, but to be aware and present, that inner awareness. That's awesome.
Well, as an artist, as an actor, and then I share this with coaches, creatives, and entrepreneurs, is that as an artist, we want to start with a blank canvas. But that doesn't mean not feeling anything. That means actually just starting with, how do I truthfully feel right now? And let's paint from there. Yes. So we're creators and we're artists when we're speaking, when we're presenting, when we're pitching. And so we want to have access to all of our colors when we're in our craft. And so to be able to do that, we have to start off with how we're truthfully feeling in the present moment.
That's awesome. So let's move on to number 2.
The second key, number 2. So the first key being inner awareness. The second key is outer awareness. So actually taking a moment to look at the facts of what's actually outside of you. So for me right now, to be really present in this conversation, I notice that I have a computer in front of me. I have your beautiful face, Karen. I've got a red button that says stop camera. I see the trees and the garden outside my house. I see the table. And I also look at what's really truthfully happening right now, which is a 15-minute interview on Facebook Live with Karen. I'm going to cover these three keys to presence. So just getting really truthful with what the facts are and the truth of my situation, and not having a positive or negative emotion connected to it. Just these are the facts. This is the truth. So I have my inner world with inner awareness, and then I have my outer world. What's actually truthfully happening outside of myself.
Sure. So that's basically just commentary, isn't it? It's just commentary. Do you do it externally? Do you say those things out loud, or do you do them is it best to do them in your head?
I think that if you're going to be speaking, you're actually going to be using your voice. I like to do a practice where I moment to moment commentate what's going on within me, then what's going on outside, in, out. So tension in my jaw, wooden table, and just moment. And that keeps me really in the dance of presence and really helps me get into creative flow.
That's awesome. That is really useful. And that is, I guess, not a lot of people will know that. So that is a stunning little tip.
Yeah.
That's great. So, and how about the next one then? Number 3.
The third key, the final key. So people actually are really quite surprised, especially creatives, when I share the third key, because they hear inner awareness, feel into your body, and outer awareness. But a lot of creatives don't actually like the third key. because the third key is organization. And I know that for me, working with a lot of creatives, they're like, oh, but I really like to do all the feeling and the noticing and the connecting, but I have to have a system and a structure. So when I was teaching actors, I always said to them, you need to know your script 100%. You need to know your lines 100%. So that you can be free and flowing in the moment. And so I say that now to presenters, that you need to know the order of what you're doing. You need to know where you're going to finish. You need to create, I call it a sexy structure, where you're going to finish and then what's going to happen before that, so that you can lead into your introduction with flow and flair and be in the unknown. So exactly what happened at the start was that we were disconnected, but I always knew where we were ending. And I always keep that end in mind. I mean, I'm obviously just still being present, but I know in the back of my head, I know where this interview's going to end and I know the steps. And so the more organization I have, and because you're so organized, Karen, and you've made this interview in a really structured way, it's easy for me to just relax and surrender and enjoy being in this process moment to moment with you. So really being mindful of the end and that structure. So a lot of people would call that your call to action. So with whatever area of your business, what's your end game? And then work backwards from that. And once you've got your organization, then you can actually just surrender to the flexibility of the moment. Because as we know, as creative people, as entrepreneurs, as coaches, we have to let go and surrender to the unknown and know it's never going to actually go the way we planned. But if we're flexible, it will go so much better, because we're out of our thinking mind, our logical mind, and we're just in the flow of the moment.
That is so good. That is so true, because you see a lot of presenters who are script based and they've learnt their presentation by rote. But so they know every word that's coming. But the problem is you get someone in the audience who gives you the wrong look, or you get someone who is looking like they're falling asleep and they just catch your eye. You get then taken off script. You get distracted from, oh my goodness, I've learned this, that word comes after that word, comes after that word. What do I do now? It's all gone. It's all a jumble. It's all a mess. So you need to learn. I like what you're saying, because you need to be able to learn it backwards, forwards, upside down, inside out, to be able to pick it up again very, very quickly. Like when that power of recovery thing, isn't it? About it being able to just pick something up, not worry about kind of where you're going necessarily with it. Just think, I'm going to pick it up somewhere. It's going to get to the end point at some point.
Well, when I was working with actors, for the first year of their training, they weren't allowed to pick up a script. They weren't actually allowed to learn lines yet, because they had to get so good at just being in the moment and learning how to be truthful. And I feel like that's such a handy tip for coaches, creatives, entrepreneurs that are going to speak, whether on a live or at a workshop. Pitching a product is actually learning skills to actually be able to be free and present in the moment. And so that's why I'm really passionate about helping entrepreneurs, because I come from this acting background and have so many skills and tools that I can now share with them, so they can be more surrendered and relaxed and actually really enjoy the presenting process.
Absolutely. I think people get more nervous the more they think about how they don't know what they're going to say about it. You know what I mean? The less prepared you are, the more nervous you become, I think.
Totally agree, Karen. Yeah.
So do you run workshops on this? How can people kind of come and get you and these super wonderful skills that you have? How can they get hold of you?
So they can get hold of me on my website, so www.clareelizabethdea.com. And I have on my website a free gift for any of your audience members if they're interested. It's the 9 elements to powerful presenting. And so they can check that out. And I run 8-week online programs called Powerful Presenting, helping coaches, creatives, and entrepreneurs with their video marketing and with their presenting live.
Awesome. And that's, do you do physical workshops as well, or are they all online?
I have been doing physical workshops for a long time. And so I'm now moving my business to online. I definitely feel like with video marketing being such the way of the future, actually holding groups so they can actually create their own videos and I can actually give them feedback helps. But I will also always still be running the odd in-person workshop so that people can practice live with me. However, I'm really passionate at the moment with moving my business online.
Yes, and it is the way to kind of reach the masses, isn't it? It's the way to reach a bigger audience that enables you to go sprinkle your skills even further. Awesome.
Exactly. Yes.
Well, this show has been awesome. Thanks, Claire, for joining us
thank
today.
you so much, Karen, for just such a great initiative to create these little bursts of 15-minute lives. So people can jump in, get some tips and tools, and then go on with their days. So big congratulations to you.
Well, thanks so much. But I always say on this show as well is it's great to watch. It's fantastic to sit and spend that time watching these shows. But these things, the gems, and for you know, business owners come and share these gems. It's important that you go out and you implement these things right now, because the things that you've talked about today, Claire, are easy things. You don't need any equipment to do this. You don't need any fancy gear, any technology. You don't need to learn any new skills. You simply sit down with yourself, you and yourself, internally, do your body scans, externally, what's going on, comment on that. And then just make sure that before you do go out and do this, that you're super organized and absolutely know your stuff. And that doesn't need any super, you know, skill to do this. But yet a lot of people do need those skills. So I do really appreciate you coming and sharing those today.
You're so welcome. Thanks for the invitation.
So I'm going to be sharing these around. I'm going to be putting some of Claire's details on the show notes as well. But yeah, as always, if you want more of these interviews, if you want to come and learn more about how to be productive, efficient and effective and grow your business into something that is productive and something you love to get up and out of bed every day to do, come over to STEMGo, saving time, energy and money in business. So until next time, from Claire and myself, have a good day. Bye.
Bye.